is flying, the moon is hiding, while the sun is shining. Life goes on, while so many dying, so many crying, while so many smiling. The flowers are dancing, cause the season's timely. The ice is present, and now the leaf is drying. This is nature, how can I come persuade you? We gotta repent, cause one day we'll see that's not the true nature. It's supposed to be like Eden, yeah. Ooh, it's supposed to be like Eden, yeah. Ooh, it's supposed to be like Eden. Nature from deep within, even what we gain, carnal enmity that's within. Oh, this ain't the way it's supposed to go. It's gonna go back, yeah. The wolf and the lamb supposed to grow together. Now the lamb gotta hide up in the night. Peace was supposed to rule upon the earth, but Revelation told us that we gotta go and fight. Man lost his dominion on the earth and gave it to the beast. They go creeping in the night, under subjection of his subjects. Without him, they gonna stay dead. They won't know the way of life. They won't know the way of life, no, no. But it's gonna go back to the way it was. Eden, Eden, Eden. Say Eden, Eden, Eden. want you rise, oh yeah. Hey, is I want you rise, oh yeah. Hey, is I want you rise, oh yeah. Hey, is I want you rise. 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 Israel, rise up. 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 I got that drip from the heaven. I feel like I get milk from the heaven. I'm toting my Bible, my sword is my weapon. Let me get a number 7 with no 11. Ayy, come out of that lie, Christianity. Most of the stuff that they push is insanity. From the Jesuits to the Portuguese, used to be some slaves to their Catholic kings. Oh, study your history. I know this ain't what Abba meant for me. The British troops from the wicked root colonized the land, then you lost your roots. Luke 21 verse 22, we was in the land, then we got the boot. Disobeyed the covenant and lost the truth, but we want it back and we want it. Rise up, rise up. Israel, it's time to rise up. Trust in your maker. It's time to rise up, rise up. Gird up, ain't no stopping now. Put your helmet on. Put your sword in your hand. It's time to rise. Rise up. Rise up, yeah. No stopping now. We gotta fight. We gotta rise. Rise up, yeah. Rise up now. There's nothing that can stop you because Yahuwah put power in you. Rise up now. Yahuwah filled you with virtue. Find it. Rise up now. Find it. Rise up now. Find it. Rise up now. Rise up, Jacob. Rise up, Jacob. Come from the dirt. Live. Rise up now. Rise up, Jacob. It's time to rise. You may sit upon your throne. Exalt your King, Yahuwah. Exalt Yahusha. It's time to rise. It's time to rise. It's the only way we're gonna survive. Rise up, yeah.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Hold on 1 second. Let me change the title here. All right. So much shalom to everyone that's on. Shalom to giving all esteem to Yahuwah. Shalom to Yehukanan. Shalom to Shimshon there. Shalom to Yada. Shalom to Zariah. Sons of Daoud. Shalom to Nisiyah. Shalom, surrender. Shalom, Sister Kaya, to Stefan, Sister Chocolate, Sunflower. Okay, wow. Shalom, Ivan. Shalom, Sonia Washington. Shalom, Sladen Keys. Shalom, Gadola Ezer. Shalom, Elder Kadisha. Shalom, Yehuda. Pensilola, Yah bless, shalom. Noel Jones, shalom. Ima Ahaba, shalom, shalom. Shalom, Ima Ayan, shalom, love you, can't wait to see you. Shalom, Verik Tucker, shalom, Anthony C, shalom, Yar, shalom, Maritza, shalom, Ima Oroya, Pidrag, shalom, Miriam, shalom, Nicole, shalom, Pauline, shalom, Tinja, shalom, daughter of Zion, shalom, Elisha, shalom, Yakub, shalom, Rakam, shalom, Safar, shalom, Amar, Yahoo, shalom, Yakuba, shalom, Yehoshua, shalom, Lizar, shalom, Abraham, Yah, Israel, shalom, Wasina, shalom, Sister Washina, shalom, Ari Moshe, shalom, Amar, Aya, shalom, Avid, Yahoo, shalom, Malaka, shalom, Bruce Cut, shalom, Edmund, shalom, Ahmad, Marsha, Danielle, Liz, Zahab, go to Abigail, Maka, Yada, shalom, Moshe, Sister Pauline, shalom, Yehosep, shalom, Briala, shalom, Hanuk, shalom, Stacy D, shalom, Yusika, shalom, Gabira, Malaka, shalom, Durham, shalom, Gwen, shalom, Sarat, shalom, Yusika, Yah, shalom, Yehukanan, shalom, 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 Sister Levice, shalom, Ben Yahoo, shalom, Kendrick, Lamarck, shalom, daughter of Zion, shalom, Rashiva, shalom, my brother, Maury Yashad, shalom, Ellison, shalom, Lindsay, shalom, Yehuda, shalom, Rebirth Art, shalom. I need to subscribe to your channel. Franco, shalom. Isla, Jania, Tafila, shalom. Ora, Daoud, shalom. Elora, Tamar, Lee, Orkali, shalom. Ben Yahoo, shalom. Malu, shalom. Erica, shalom. Abigail, shalom. Marquise, shalom. Said shalom to everybody on this pagan year. I believe we're in the pagan year 2023. But for Rebirth for us, it's dedications today. Feast of Dedications. We're going to get together as an assembly a little bit later on this evening. Didn't have too much for you today. I just thought it's important to understand when we talk about the Feast of Dedication in the Maccabean period. I don't know why it's so much debate and Yisrael as a whole, Yisrael as a whole, about if we should celebrate it. Now we know it's not a commanded feast, but it's something that has been going on for many years before the Maccabean revolt when it comes to dedication and rededication of the temple. That's something that's not new in Torah. That's something that didn't happen throughout the scriptures. You know, I think it was a few years ago. I did a teaching on it. I think me and Chief did a teaching on that years ago. But, you know, I watched the movie Emancipation last night with some of my household, you know, spiritual sons and daughters that came over, and when you look at everything that we done been through as a people. From our inception of coming into a covenant, to our first getting scattered, and then getting scattered to the four corners of the earth. And over here in the Americas having over 400 years of captivity. It's important to keep what Yahuwah has done in our history for the memorial of his power, to keep it alive. When you look at how we have triumphed through many adversities, and it's only been through the Most High, even when we've been in the land of our captivities, that he has been with us even in our punishment as a nation. He's still been there. And going back to why he, I'm just going to talk, that going back into why he desires us to do things as a memorial unto him, because what he has done, and to keep his righteous acts as a resounding point of kabod in the memory of the bloodline of a nation called Yisrael, which is one man through many generations. That the works of Yahuwah doesn't die with a generation because it hasn't been passed on. So even when you look at the point of the other feasts, one of the baseline points is to celebrate this thing as a memorial. Well, let's look at that real quick. Let's look at Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus 23 for a second. We're just gonna read it, or let's. I tell you what. Let's first go to Exodus 12.
Can I raise that microphone?
Yeah.
I did something wrong.
Can y'all hear me? Everybody can hear me? Because we're going to Exodus chapter 12. Y'all hear me okay? Alright, Exodus chapter 12. Let's just look at the point. And I think this is one of the feast that I believe is imperative for us to memorialize of what Yahuwah has done for our people. Exodus chapter 12 verse 1. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and Aaron in the land of Mizraim, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, and a lamb in the house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next into his household take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You should take it out from among the sheep and from the goats, and you should keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Yeshua should kill it in the evening. And they should take upon the blood and to strike it on two sides of the post and upon the upper doorpost of the house, wherein you shall eat it. And you shall eat the flesh in that night, roasted with fire, unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs, and they shall eat it. Eat not it raw, nor salting at all with water, but roast it with fire, with its heads and its legs, and with the partners thereof. And you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, that which remaineth of it until the morning shall burn with the fire. And thus said, you shall eat it with your loins girded and your shoes on your feet and your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste, because it's Yahuwah's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Mizraim this night, and will smite the firstborn of the land of Mizraim, both man and beast, and against all the Elohim of Mizraim I will execute the judgment. I am Yahuwah. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon your houses where you are. And when you see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not come upon you to destroy you, and I shall smite the land of Mizraim. Watch this. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it in a feast to Yahuwah throughout your generations, and you shall keep it as a feast by an ordinance forever. Right? So we see that Yahuwah desires us to keep the feast as a memorial, right? He wants our children to be able to understand and to keep these things alive in our bloodline, right? Even if you drop down to verse 26, you finna set the alarm on. Verse 26, and it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, what does this mean by the service? That you should say that it is the sacrifice of Yahuwah's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their head and worshiped. And the children of Israel went away and did as Yahuwah had commanded Aaron and Moshe. So, again, what was the point? What was one of the points of why he told them to celebrate Pesach? Anybody can answer that? Y'all can put in the chat. What does a memory do to a nation? So remember to pass it down. What does a memory do? A memorial. What is the point of that? What does a memorial do for a nation? So we don't forget, our children. But why do Our nation. I see y'all put remember it, landmark, keeps it alive, pass it down. Alright, so is this memorial just for us to like remember like how it would be to establish culture for immortality, bring us together? Okay, immortality. That's a great answer. Man, I kind of wish I can go on a Zoom because I want to see what you meant by immortality. I'm gonna see where you at on that. That was a really good answer. Why did you say that, y'all? Why would you use the term immortality? All y'all gave great answers. I'm looking for a specific reason now. That was a great answer. Yada said immortality. I'm not seeing her say nothing else. So you didn't get nervous, did you, Yada? I don't see your answer. Why would we need to keep this alive? Why would we need to keep this in our mind? For what? What is it specifically about Israel that we needed to keep this in our mind? Keep us connected to each other, keep us humble, keep us connected to Yah. Okay. But I have an answer. He said immortality, not yielding and never dying. Okay. For the preservation of our culture, covenant, restoration of our people. We can't maintain the ancient path for eternity if we don't remember. All right. Okay. Azariah says when the time comes again, which is true. This is true. One thing that was going to be known about our nation is that we was going, when we break the covenant, what was going to happen to us? We was going to be in captivity. And we needed to keep alive the mighty acts and the mighty works of Yahuwah, because the only evidence, according to Yeshayahu 43 and 44, the only evidence to the nations of Yahuwah's existence is his people. This is why he says that you are my witnesses. He says, you are my evidence to my goodness. You are my evidence to my power. I have created you to be a praise for me and a glory in the earth. We are the reality of Yahuwah's existence. So there would not be a reality of Yahuwah's existence because he set it up like that for it to be through his people. That's why he said, according to Deuteronomy 32, I think verse 8, it speaks on how he gave the nations their inheritance, but his inheritance was our people. We was the lot of his inheritance, and we was his portion, and we was the apple of his eye, right? We was the proof of who he is and his power over all nations. Right? Let's keep reading. Let's go to Leviticus. So we see that in Pesach and Unleavened Bread, right? Alright, so Yada speaking. She said it would be like a marker in our DNA because information is passed down through it. Toe. That is so true. Everything that has happened is in our genetic code. the remembrance of all our forefathers before us. This is why even according to Yeshayahu 59 and around verse 20-21, it can speak of the same Ruach that was in our father's mouth shall be in the seed. So we got this Ruach, this ancient Ruach, the spirit of Yahusha, that is in our genetic codes, that's an eternal being that has all the information from the beginning of time, that's in us, that can manifest different mantles upon us. And that's the beauty and the power of a mantle. A mantle never leaves with the man, but it continues with the work. I'm going to say that again. The mantle is not a man, but is a work according to a mission. And this is why Peter, Kepha can speak of that the spirit of Yahusha was in the prophet speaking of these things that he was seeing in his time. And this is why you have to keep your eyes open to Yisrael, because you have to know what mantle is manifesting on the leader that's in front of you because of the mission of the work that must be accomplished in the end time. So this is why a lot of our forefathers, you seeing them before your face. You're seeing the mantle of Musha. You're seeing the mantle of Yahusha, son of Nun. You're seeing the mantle of Eliyahu. You're seeing the mantle looking at you being established as Zerubbabel. You're seeing the two witnesses being raised up. Because it's for an appointed time that these genetic codes are activated for us to become the work in the end time that must be greater. That must be greater than those that came before us. What mantle is manifested. But if you don't keep the memory of the power of Yahuwah alive, you cannot connect to it. You activate the power through memory. You activate. What do you think happens when you really shakar? Because to shakar means to zakar. Shakar is when you bow down and worship, but you can only truly worship through memory. Memory through the Ruach activating out of you and permeating and opening up your eyes and your spirit and your being of the wonderful works and the acts and the righteous acts and the power and the kabod of Yahuwah that makes you bow, that makes you lay prostrate, that makes you cry, that makes you sing with all your heart, that overcomes you, overshadows you, that breaks you. It's through zakaring. This is why I tell them, use your memory when you're worshiping, and watch how potent and how do I want to say it? I don't want to use just potent, but intense your worship becomes your supplication. But the mantle is never left to when a man dies. It's always attached to a work because of a mission. And the mission will call for the mantle because of the work that must be established. This is regeneration before your eyes. This is through meditation, and I don't know if I should say this. Understanding this, you can go through the portals of your DNA to connect to certain phases of time for wisdom and manifestation for the work. When you pray and you use your vision and you use your hearing, you go through portals of time to get to eternal place, to attach to an eternal realm, to speak to an eternal allure. Because he don't dwell in time, but the kingdom is within. So this is why it even says in the Ecclesiastes, it said, I have set eternity in every man's heart. So I always speak of not just it's a whole galaxy inside of you that you can go through in order to visit Yahuwah. This is where Malachim ambassadors come. They come in you, but it seems like a manifestation out of you. Because we don't know how real the place is in us, because we still think we're bound through the natural flesh. And we think we can go no further than the natural realm, because we have learned and we have been domesticated to be natural beings that's only created to function in one dimension. This is why we become one-dimensional, and this is why you can have a lack of faith, because you believe this is all it is. Because you're too, how you say it, you are too invested, you have been given over to believe that you're natural. And that your limitations are within space, time, and matter. And our forefathers didn't believe that. This is why they could manipulate time. This is why they could perform miracles, because they knew that their being, their body, didn't limit them to its natural abilities. I'm going a whole different way now. If you don't understand this type stuff, you will never be able to really connect with Yahuwah, because you can't. Prayer will become such a meditation of just spending time and going into through portals and visiting Yahuwah and letting him take you places and take you up where you can't be bound through a natural realm. This is why the prophets, when they used to have visions, when they say the word of Yahuwah came to them, right, that they was in captivity and they went into a vision. They was not limited to where they at. The ambassadors, Malachim would say, come up hither, let me show you this. What do you see? Showing them different phases of time that they can look in and they can visit. You do it all the time, even when you have a memory of pain. Because pain is a phase in your life that is a memorial to you, that you make a conclusion and a declaration. You conclude that you will always move away from this, that this will never happen again. And you make a declaration of why and how this won't happen to me again. Then you plan your life. But it's a memorial to you, and it has shaped your personality, and you can leave this now and go into your past. How are you doing that? So we just be doing stuff, but we don't realize it, and then we lose faith when it comes to how spiritual we are. You can go right back to that phase in time and notice you experience the same feeling. You can experience the same emotion. But wait a minute, that was 10 years ago. But you are time traveling. I'm finna get in trouble now. I'm finna get in trouble. I'm finna get in trouble. Get in trouble. I'm supposed to be out here talking about a piece of dedication, man. You don't see it because you're so natural, but that's what you're doing. You're actually going back in yourself. Because in your genetic code is time. And time was created by Yahuwah for us to experience Him, each other, and be able to go in and out, right? So this is why it's important to understand the phases in your life, because time is one of the most precious things that was given to us, right? But you can, from where you are now, I can at this place because I first know I'm Ruach before anything. You're just seeing a shell of myself that contains something inwardly that's more real than what's manifested before you. You only are able to see me because you have eyes that has been given to you to manifest this natural realm. This is how you have a manifestation of me. You can experience me, you can see me, but what you're seeing is an illusion of what's really me. Because the Ruach of me, you can't see it with the natural eye, but you can experience it. Because it go beyond touch. It go beyond physicality. The Ruach that's in me can reach levels of your hearing in your genetic code to activate something that's outside of the natural through sound, through words that you can't codify. Because you can't see the words that come out of my mouth, but the sound waves of something ancient is coming from an ancient place out of my being that's stirring something in you, because we're connected from eternity, and which is our DNA, which is our genetic code, which go beyond the physical realm. But I can go back 10 to 15 years right now and look back at, this is what I've been telling people even to do when it comes to the inner child, that you go back as a healed person with the tools that you have been giving now to go back. You had me do that when I was meditating the other day. I went back in time to a time I was a young boy. I might have been 8 years old. Had something in my mind that was traumatic happen. And I know I was I came home from school and I was on the bed and I was just crying and crying. And Yahuwah had me to go through the Ruach, through the set apart spirit, back to that time period and speak to the little boy in me, right? That went through that had that pain and had those things and was confused, and strengthen him and heal him. Because like it says, the spirit of man is the candle of Yahuwah. When Yahuwah meets your spirit, visits your spirit, shines light on your soul, you can go and see the deficits that's within your being that needs healing. And heal yourself. One thing that the oppressors taught us to do is to be carnal. It's so amazing I'm telling you, man, these jokers, you got to give it to them. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just talking all over the place. I know I'm all over the place. I know I'm all over the place. I told y'all I was just gonna come on here talking, and I ain't even talking about what I'm supposed to be talking about. I guess I just got a lot of things that I already know is who are leading me in. But anyway, now listen. Our oppressors, you gotta give it to them. They brilliant. These jokers, they don't play when it comes to their kabod and their dominion. They never think for the now. They don't think for just tomorrow. They think about generational dominion over a people. They not giving up their seat for nobody. They don't think how they can just oppress you. They want to see how can I oppress your father's 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 father. No, not your father, but your son's son. I want 400, 500, 1,000 years of captivity. But one of the greatest things that they did is to break us down, to make us believe that we are natural beings. And that intellectualism is what is esteemed and will be esteemed among us. So think about that. Think about this. How a non-spiritual people that had no connection to a higher power brought down a highly spiritual people and gave the people they broke down their mind. Because they had no connection to spirituality. So they said, okay, I'm going to put in them, I'm going to break down, I'm going to destroy their history, I'm going to change their language, I'm going to make them natural because we don't know how they're getting power and what they're doing from a place of something that was unseen. So we're going to break them down, and for generations, we're going to teach them intellectualism. We're going to teach them to only be able to use a portion of their mind. We're going to teach them to only be able to measure all things. If I can't measure it, then it's not real. If I can't codify it, then it's not real. If I can't see it outside of this space, time, and matter, then it's not true. Then it allows us to esteem their, how am I trying to say that? It allows us to esteem their system of intelligence. Because our intelligence came from the covenant and the time of Yahuwah. How much of Yahuwah that you knew? Now how much of this science? Now how much of this history? Now how much of their theological constructs? So now we only esteem each other if we have a master degree of numbness to Yahuwah, or a doctorate degree of numbness. And notice, we will only really listen to credentials that only really speaks of you have become a master or a doctor at being natural. And we esteem it. And if we experience anything spiritual, we are afraid of it. We push back on it. we say that's crazy. Even something as simple as praying ruachly, we would get off the bus because it can't be measured. I can't understand it intellectually. My mind is unfruitful, so I try to go and find what ways that I can measure it. Because they taught us how to esteem the natural aspect of intellectualism. So this becomes the goal, and that goal is going to keep us in captivity. This is why the nation of Israel, now notice, the nation of Israel in this captivity is built off of PowerPoint presentations rather than the power of Yahuwah. It's based on how much knowledge you know and can prove, which is, I'm okay with that. But that can't be the end goal of that's it. Alright, so now I can take you through the Torah all the way through the show where Ruachly praying and the Ruach was established, because it's nothing but prophecy. So I can take you from Torah all the way through. But I just want you to just think about it. Right? My natural dialect, you can understand because of the dialect that I'm speaking, what I'm saying. That's a language. And most things in this realm has a language to us. Everything is speaking, but you got to know how to see, and you're going to got to know how to hear. There's certain points of your mind that will always be unfruitful based on what language is coming forth. The moon has a language that it speaks every time it arises. It's in the scripture. But your mind without understanding will not hear the language of the moon. The sun has a language in the ordinance that it keeps and that it speaks every time it shines. It don't have a dialect, it has a language, it has a way to connect, it's speaking, it has a sound. But it's not measured in words that you can write down. The sun reveals what it's speaking. The wind, when it blows through a word and a sound that it creates, that different beings hear different things because of the wind. The birds understand the language of the wind because of the realm that they're in. We understand the language of the wind. The animals understand the language of the wind because it's speaking. It has a function in this realm. It's great. The function is greater than even than the natural. The scriptures is saying that if even you won't praise, it says the rocks will cry out. I will raise up a rock to cry out unto me. The earth speaks and has a language that it can even spew people out. But it's saying something to he that have an ear. But the understanding is unfruitful if you try to take one realm that you're used to, a dialect, that you can't understand what the earth is saying. Even when you take your shoes off and let your feet hit the earth, it's speaking to your body in a healing aspect because you came from it. So when your feet hit the natural ground, your feet connects and communicates with the ground, and the ground communicates with your body. Now, your body has a language that doesn't speak, that manifests because your soul will speak through your body. Wait a minute. So I can know what's in your mind, in your soulish realm, by what your body does without you uttering a thing. Because your soul has a language. Your soul can speak with your eyes. That tears can flow to soul speaking to me. When tears flow, the soul is speaking to me that something done touched you. Something done broken you. And the language of your soul fills your eyes and gives forth the release without you saying a word. I can see the manifestation of anger because your soul is using your body as a conduit to speak in this realm. Your soul also gives off a presence that speaks in this realm. I can tell when you walk in a room and everybody's soul is upset because you can cut the tension without saying a word. I can tell when your soul has shut down to things that have been uttered without you speaking. Because it's speaking to me. It's giving forth a language. I understand it through touch and feel. But what did the oppressors teach us? Only deal with this natural realm. That's why you're confined. So if the earth, the wind, the trees, the plants have a language where they speak to you, and if you pay attention to how they speak, they will show you how they survive. They will speak to you through the revelation of what Yahuwah has given. Everything has a language. When a person plays golf, they have given themselves to golf so much that they can go on a golf course and read the course? So you mean the golf course, the land is speaking to them based on what they have given themselves to? They can study it, they can understand it. Go to somebody and tell them that you're reading the ground. They have to watch and read the wind so they can know how to hit the ball and get it to a destination. They're reading it because it has a language. But you natural, you stupid, you dumb. So wait a minute. If that's the case, how does the natural realm have so many ways of communication where it speaks to you in a realm that you can understand? Your soulish realm speaks to you and can even show you what to fear, and it manifests in the natural realm. But my spirit only speak English. And my spirit is eternal. It's not governed by the English language. But my spirit don't have a language in itself. What? So anything in eternity can't communicate. My eternal being that's in me don't know how to say nothing. Can't manifest. How do you think you'll be able to understand something that came before you, that's speaking out of you, that's manifesting in this realm? That utters out of you, that causes you to speak, to shift, to turn things. If you don't connect to that realm, then you have no true dominion over what is natural. Your spirit has a language that the natural realm will not be able to measure or to understand because it's power coming out of you. What language you think they speaking in the Shemini? When Shavuot talked about the tongues of Malachim. You think you can measure it. You think you can talk that way, you can understand it here. And they speak in a way in which was created before the earth was created. That's why you won't be able to understand it just speaking it, but you will get the revelation of it. Because now it leaves that realm, translate into a realm that we can understand here. But you so natural because the Europeans that made you dumb like them. They made you stupid. Because you don't know what's in you. You don't know what you have. You don't know the power that you have. Because your Ruach sends out vibrations and frequencies from that realm that shift this realm. This is why in the natural I can clap my hands through the intention. But how do I get something, the communication from that realm into this natural realm? It's through the vehicle of Amunah, because I believe it, and your belief is a channel for manifestation in this realm. Not just belief, because belief is the arrow, but intention is the bow. My intention is, where do I intend this to go? This is why you would say, so shall my word be that go out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish the place where I intend for it to go. And now we got the secular world, they believe this. They believe when they put out music and they put the intention of the music in the music, that that's the thing out, even outside of the words, that were being grafted into your spirit, into your soul. It's their intention. Because they know the way to get it from the demonic realm to this realm is what they believe about it. That's a principle. This is why I believe when and I've been doing it so much that the Ruach can just take over me because I live in that realm. And I give them the vehicle of faith to see and believe, and I intend my faith to go towards my point. This is why I can believe I'm in a place, and I can open up the spirit realm, which is the portal, because my faith is there and my intention, and that opens that realm up that they can walk among us. If you have ever visited or came to Rebirth Assemblies with me and Chief is there, you're going to experience that. You're going to experience the opening of heaven. You're going to experience Malachim walk. And I'm going to say it through faith when they come. And what their attention going to be. I can speak that they're touching your head. They're touching your chest. They're walking among you. Why? Because I believe that that's my intention. And I know it's coming from a realm that can't be seen. And I know I'm not natural. So now they have the opportunity to come and walk among us and heal. But I do all that from a spiritual place. That's why I don't pay attention to people that's natural. That's trying to codify the Most High and put him in a box. This is things. This is why, even with praying in the Ruach, the same spirit that was in the prophets have opportunity to raise up out of us and speak to this realm. Our forefathers used our tongue to speak to this natural realm, the promises that they believe that they didn't see and can be manifested, because the same mantle as in us come upon us with supernatural ability to speak forth even things they spoke when in this time, and we still think it's us doing it. But when the power of Yahuwah is on us, we become a different man, a different being. That's why it talks about the prophets prophesied all night long. The manifestations of mantles. Want to speak through you. Want to speak against this captivity. Want to use your voice of utterance so they could utter out of you through the Ruach HaKodesh. But you closed-minded. You natural. You don't know what's going on. That's how I know when I lay these hands, I'm doing it from a place of being filled with eternal power that has a natural, when I touch you in a natural, it's going to evoke the eternal power, and what's in me that I've been filled with you, it's going to resonate not to your natural, but I'm going to hit your spirit. I'm going to go through you and have you experience Yahuwah. Because I didn't touch your skin. I touched your spirit. I ignited your spirit. I charged your spirit. And what happened to the natural? It can't stand. It gets endued. It can't handle the pressure of eternal impartation, electricity, through faith and intention. I ain't even get into it as far as using your spirit to see, visit. Well, no, let me not go into that. Anyway, I got all off. Like this is a lot of this stuff has to be activated. That's like, I don't got time for a lot of stuff because stuff here has to be activated. You can't. Nah, I can't do that online. Anyway. Alright, well, I guess that's it. I know I was kind of like everywhere. It's about 10:39. I gotta get ready to go. I guess this is just at the core of me today. I can't do an activation with y'all like that online. I would, because I want you to experience something, to show you something, to bring reality to what I'm talking about, so you see how real this is. Because like, I don't play by this, man. And Yahuwah didn't put me in such a place to have trusted me with being a doorkeeper of the Ruach Rim and the Shemini, that I can open doors or open portals for things to happen through Yahuwah, through Yahusha. I just don't be talking. You cannot be around me and don't experience these things. I'm telling you. You're going to experience it because this is what I believe, is what I live. But the goal of it is to get out of here. And it's going to take us going back to the ancient landmarks, the ancient path. I wish we had the mind of our righteous forefathers that had no limitations to the natural realm at all. We get back there, man. Because everything they did from a covenant that was made in their genetic code, that was wrote in them. And this is why they can do supernatural things. This is why they believe that they can kill 1,000 men with a jawbone of a donkey. They didn't do that from a natural perspective. They knew how to enact something that was internal, that their spirit had the strength of eternity that other nations didn't know how to tap into. But boy, did they learn how to cut that off from us. And now they messing, what are they doing? All of their man-made viruses and diseases have been triggered or created to go in our DNA because they know what's there and cut off our ability to connect to that power that's from a realm that you can't see. This is why the sickness is, this is why they're coming. This is why they're trying to destroy these things. Because they want to keep you like them. And they want to study your genetic code so they can gain access to a power that you don't even know that's in you. Yahuwah, we say, Torah Rabbah, we thank you. Yahuwah, I ask that you touch them in a place that's outside the natural. Go to them now and touch their mind, touch their head. Ask the Malakim to go and touch their head. Y'all lift your hands. Touch their head as vindication of the words that we were spoken. Have your spiritual power set a memorial of this day. Let them experience something from you from a realm they can't see or touch, but they know it's there. They can sense it. Touch them right now, Yahuwah. As vindication of the words that were spoken. Let them see the ancient paths. Ooh. Ooh. Let them feel the ancient path fuel. Feel your kabod rest upon it now. Praise you. Praise you. I know some of y'all did feel that because something it came over me. You all want to do something, man. You want to do something. I had to kind of cut that off, but he want to do something. I just felt the resonation of Yahuwah. Anybody feel Yahuwah? Feel something rest upon him? Let me know. Don't just say hallelujah. Just let me know if you did. All right, yeah. So Yahuwah, praise Yahuwah. What y'all felt? Yours is really trying to get to this. He's trying to get to this realm, y'all, and I'm trying to show you how you could do it. You see how easy, through hearing the words of faith from eternal place and being able to unlock and open up these doors, that you can experience something that can't be measured. Something that can't be measured. All right. Gotta go. Praise Yahushua. But anyway, spend this time, with Yahuwah. Spend the time with Yahuwah. On a time, this starts for us the first day of dedication all the way to the 8th day. We do this not as a commandment, but as a memorial of what Yahuwah has done in the earth to keep, even with the other feast that's been commanded. But this is something just like Purim, to keep what he has done alive in our with our children in our captivity, and just keep so our faith can be enacted and ignited. Of the power of the Most High and the redemption of our people. So let Yahuwah lead you. Let him go forth, because in dedication, it's what our forefathers accomplished through the power of Yahuwah. It's not a man-made holiday, you stupid if you believe that. It's not a man-made tradition. You stupid if you believe that. But it's what Yahuwah did through our forefathers, that they create a memorial in our history that we can commemorate also too. Because it's not about the power of our people, but it's a power of Yahuwah and their dedication to our allure. So this is why our focus is not having the things to celebrate, but it's about the memory of what he did, the memorial of what he did, of what he established, what was accomplished. That's the power in it. That's the beauty in it. Yahuwah's power in the lives of our people that we're supposed to keep alive. Praise Yahuwah. That's why it says, praise Yahuwah for his mighty works. Praise him for his mighty acts, for what he has done. Rehearse the righteous acts. Make a memorial of them. And commemorate the story. And it calls the memory of it to keep you on a daily greater dedication of dedicating your walk through the memory of how they was dedicated to the temple and Yahuwah. Alright, so praise Yahuwah. We finna get on off of here. Praise that everybody was able to experience what they need to experience. Keep that walking in the Most High and the fullness of Him. We will see y'all, some of y'all later on this evening when we get together. Love y'all, and we will talk soon. Shalom.